BBN Tonight on your official UK sports station, LEX 18. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK athletics.
Welcome back to BBN Tonight. Our discussion of the busy weekend for UK sports continues now with Tom Leach.
We'll talk some football and basketball with the voice of the Wildcats. And Tom, let's talk hoops first. Kentucky has a tight turnaround after being upset by Richmond at Rupp Arena yesterday. Just give us your thoughts on yesterday's loss and the challenge ahead, the quick turnaround into the Champions Classic against Kansas.
Whatever the difference is on the scale between surprising and shocking, it's kind of what the reaction to the result yesterday was, because I don't think I was surprised that a Richmond team that starts 4 seniors, on the fringe of the top 25, coming into the game, one of the picks to win the A10, good league, that they could come in and win against a Kentucky team that hadn't had hardly any time together in games yet. That wasn't a shock, but a little surprising. And the way, the convincing way that they ended up doing it. The game just kind of slowly slipped away from Kentucky. There was one time, I think it was maybe 58-53, where they had a shot from the corner. I think it was Isaiah Jackson, a 3, maybe it was 60-53, whatever, where they could have maybe put a little pressure on Richmond, missed the shot. Richmond got a run-out basket, and that was kind of the last stand for Kentucky. So I have no doubt they'll learn from it, and probably good for them that they get to jump right back on the horse, even though it's Kansas on Tuesday night.
All right, let's go back to football for a minute. ESPN paid tribute to Kentucky's late offensive line coach on Saturday's College Game Day. Take a listen to this clip from the piece on John Schlarman.
As his condition slowly worsened, Schlarman's resolve deepened. Somehow he continued coaching through chemotherapy treatments.
There are days when I'm walking by, he was curled up behind his desk, and he'd pop up and he'd be in meetings with those players with a smile on his face 15 minutes later.
This dude probably got to the facility at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., can barely walk, throwing up every 30 minutes, can't keep anything down.
Do what we do, all right?
How are you doing this through chemo, through the sickness, through the sores on your feet? And he simply said, for the team.
I mean, this was an incredible piece, Tom. Darian Kennard was everyone was emotional. Your thoughts on it? Did you get to see it?
Yeah, I did. Not in real time, but I saw all the Twitter reaction, and then somebody posted a link. A few times a year, I have to text Gene Wojciechowski, who did the feature, and tell him what a great job it was. This time, I wanted to say, "Darn you! You don't need to make me cry an hour before I'm supposed to start doing a game." It's a wonderful piece, and there was a camera angle in there at the memorial service. Jeff Okoro and I were in the end zone behind where everyone was sitting, looking at the speakers, and then on that piece there was a camera angle from the other direction behind the speakers, looking back at the crowd. And Drake, I think in particular, was one guy that I saw just had his head buried in his hands at one point. And it's been a disappointing season relative to what their goals were, but everybody's had to go through COVID. That's enough to have to deal with. But you add in this and the Chris Oates situation, and the guys on that Kentucky team and the coaches too have had a lot of extra things on their plates.
Tom, let's look ahead to this Saturday, and the Cats are double-digit favorites for the second time this season. Vegas puts them up 13 against South Carolina on senior night, and we're going to say goodbye to some big-time seniors for this program that have done a lot of great things.
Yeah, it's a shame there won't be able to be a big crowd there to celebrate those accomplishments and help lift those guys up a little bit, but hopefully they'll go out with a bang. They've struggled to move the ball the last couple of weeks, but it's Alabama and Florida. They put 38 up on Vandy. They scored well against, Ole Miss earlier in the season. So the teams that aren't at the top defensively, they've been able to have success moving the ball. Georgia just ran for over 300 yards against South Carolina. So I'm assuming Chris Rodriguez is back this week, and maybe they could get C-Rod rolling and just kind of control the game from the start and give those guys, the seniors, a nice send-off.
I know, and a lot of them are Kentucky boys, too, that we're going to miss. Thank you so much, Tom. We'll be chatting with you next week.
Sounds good, guys.
All right, thanks, Tom. Some more coming up after this.
You're watching BBN Tonight.